Hello, this is part 3, respiration in plants. So now we have come to the step number 3, that is electron transport system or electron transport chain. In this, the molecule of electron transport chains are built into the inner membrane of mitochondria. So the chain functions as chemical machine that use energy released by the fall of electrons and to pump hydrogen ions across the inner mitochondrial membrane. And these ions, they store potential energy. So which ion? Hydrogen ions. Now this is a diagram of mitochondria and the complexes they have. So let us see again the diagram, the outer membrane, the inner membrane, and the space in between them, intermembrane space, and the matrix. So this green color is a matrix. So all the complexes, they are located on this part of the inner membrane. So these complexes are, there are 5 complexes, and these complexes are complex 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Complex 1, FMN, NADH2 dehydrogenase. Complex 2, FADH2 dehydrogenase and succinate dehydrogenase. Complex 3 is cytochrome B, cytochrome C1. Complex 4, cytochrome A, A1 and 2 copper centers, and cytochrome 5, it is merged with this as ATP synthetase or ATPase enzyme. So there are 5 complexes all located on the intermembrane space. Okay, now let us see the position of the complexes. So here we can see this is the outer membrane, this is the inner membrane, and this is the intermembrane space, and this is the matrix which was green in color in the earlier, this green colored structure. Okay, the complex 1 is made of FMN and NADH2 dehydrogenase, NADH dehydrogenase, where NADH H plus ions are liberated and NADH is going to get transferred to NAD plus, and this hydrogen ions will be moving from matrix towards the intermembrane space. Okay, so this is complex 1. With hydrogen there is a liberation of one electron also. This electron will be accepted by the first electron acceptor, that is ubiquinone. So this is the electron that is liberated, and this will be accepted by ubiquinone as an electron acceptor. Now the electron not accepted but it is transported. Ubiquinone will transfer this to ubiquinone H. So from where this hydrogen and this has come, so it just you can see here that the complex number 2, this is complex 2. So complex 2 is also generating the hydrogen ion, where you will see here it is FeS, and complex 3 is made up of, complex 2 is made up of FADH2 dehydrogenase, succinate dehydrogenase, where there is a ubiquinone formation of electron. This electron will be donated to ubiquinone and ubiquinone H, and the electron will get transferred to the cytochrome B from cytochrome to complex number 2, complex number 3. So this cytochrome B will transfer this to FeS and then cytochrome C1. Both of these, they will give out hydrogen from the ubiquinone, and this hydrogen will be liberated towards the intermembrane space. Okay, so why this is shown after 3? Because this is also going to generate hydrogen ion, and this is also generating hydrogen ion, and both these they get attached, or they give out their hydrogen ion as well as electron to the complex number 3. Okay. Now this electron will then be transferred to cytochrome C, and then to cytochrome C, and to complex number 4, which is made up of a copper and cytochrome A and cytochrome A and cytochrome A1 and 2 copper units. So here also there is the electron is given out, plus there is a formation of 2 hydrogen ion. This hydrogen ion will move again to the intermembrane space. Now this hydrogen were formed during the change in this FADH2. Now finally the electron, what is the position of electron? Electron has moved to copper ion, then copper, then to cytochrome A, A1, and again the copper. Then these electrons will be accepted by the oxygen. Now here the role of oxygen has come, and finally what we find that oxygen has only this much of role in the whole respiratory process, where oxygen will gain electron and add hydrogen, and this will form the water. So we see that respiration also gives out water due to the acceptance of oxygen. So for the full process we didn't see the role of oxygen anywhere, but the role of oxygen comes at this end, where it will react with 2 hydrogen and it will accept electron and it will convert into H2O, it means water. So these are the 4 major complexes. Complex 1 FMN and NADH2 dehydrogenase. Complex number 2, which is succinate dehydrogenase, succinate and fumarate conversion will take place. Complex number 3, where cytochrome B and C1, or we can call it as cytochrome BC complex, and then cytochrome 4. So electron is moving and it is being transferred to cytochrome B, and then FES, and then cytochrome C. Then again one electron will reach to cytochrome B, FES, C1, and this electron will move towards complex number 4, and then it will get reacted through complex number 4 to the oxygen. So oxygen will accept electron and react with hydrogen to form water ion. The last complex which is there in this is the complex number 5, and it has a important role to convert all NADPH into and FADH2 into ATP. So the things that are happening here is that this is the ATP synthetase enzyme, or ATPase, which has 2 important components, F0 and F1 particle. So F0 is embedded in the membrane, and the F1 it is coming or oozing out from this F0 particle. Now this is just like a motor, and it is moving. So it works when the electrochemical gradient is reached. So you will find that there are large number of hydrogen ion on the inner membrane, intermembrane space, because of movement of this hydrogen ion, 4 hydrogen, and the concentration of hydrogen is increasing towards this end, and this is now we call as electrochemical gradient. And oxidative phosphorylation will take place, whereas in photosynthesis we learned photophosphorylation, but here there is a oxidation, and that's why it is oxidative phosphorylation will take place. And movement of hydrogen, two hydrogen movement will rotate this, and it will help in the reaction between ADP and one inorganic phosphate to form ATP. So complex 1 is complex 5 works on this important phase. So this is a structure, or this is a whole membrane which is working as a electron transfer system or electron transport chain. So you have to understand complexes, and now this is complex number 5. Complex number 5 is oxidative phosphorylation. Aerobic respiration, ATP produce one in glycolysis and another in Krebs cycle. Cytoplasm, it will take place in cytoplasm, it will take place in mitochondrial matrix. ATP and NADPH2 are formed, and FADH2. Then in electron transport, after this consuming or formation of this will take place, and there is a net gain of 38 ATP that we have seen in the earlier slides also. Okay, so this is all about aerobic respiration of ATP. Now this can also summarize the glycolysis. 2 ATP are formed and 2 NADH2. This NADH2 will move to, this is not taken completely, but it will move to electron transfer chain. Then pyruvic acid, 2-acetyl coenzyme, again there is a formation of NADH2, it will again move for electron transfer. Then 2-acetyl Krebs cycle will work, and this will form this, and again it will move, and finally we have 38 ATPs as per the whole process is seen. Okay, direct synthesis, 2 ATP in here and 2 ATP, and indirect by ATP synthesis it is 34. So 34 by ATP synthesis and 2 direct in Krebs cycle and 2 in glycolysis. Now as we have now completed this, the specialty of cellular respiration is that any kind of molecule besides glucose, like protein and fats, they can also gives out, they can also enter into this cycle and give out energy. So there are diverse type of carbohydrates like glucose, sucrose, fructose, they all can give rise to energy in the form of ATP. Fats also and proteins can also enter into the cycle. So where they are going to enter into the cycle, fats, you will see fats, they enter into the cycle at link reaction. We heard that this is a link reaction, this much is a link reaction, so they enter directly as acetyl coenzyme. Carbohydrate, they have the similar glycolysis, pyruvic acid, and then entry. Then how protein will enter? Through amino acids. Amino acid get converted into pyruvic acid, or they will enter directly into the Krebs cycle at the point of alpha ketoglutarate or glutamic acid. So fats, carbohydrates, protein can enter at any at a particular step of Krebs cycle and glycolysis. So we can use all these as a source of energy. If carbohydrates are less, proteins will be used, fats will be used. But how these are associated? So there is a quantity called as respiratory quotient, which is the ratio of volume of CO2 evolved to the volume of oxygen consumed. And this is different for different substrate, respiratory substrate. Carbohydrate, it is 1, fats, it is less than 1, protein again less than, so this make a one group. and less than one group, and this make another group that more than one. All organic acid they give more than one as a RQ. Carbohydrate they have perfect RQ as 1. 1 less than 1. So we'll take some example. Glucose 6O2 6CO2. So 6CO2 O2 1. Tripalmitin fat 145 O2 102 CO2. So 102 and 145 less than 7. Organic acid more than 1. So they have 4 CO2 formed with 1 oxygen. So that's why it is 4. And malic acid again 4 CO2 and 3 O2. So they have 1.3 as the RQ. And finally if we see the xymate, if we see glucose in absence of minus O2, we will see that it is infinite, 2 upon 0 CO2, so it goes to infinite. Thank you.